Hello, people. How's it going, people? What's it called? So people pass something unknown. Cool. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. What should I call this? Optimization. The O whatevers are +1. That is a 1 DKP plus. What is wrong with Emacs and indenting? It's like I'm an indentured servant. What does a plus sign before a print statement mean? Why do you think that means something? Opt unset is O1. Yeah, that's fine. That's intentional. I mean, default is O0. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a little bit weird. It will make it O1. I was in a different mindset for these, but I agree that it's simpler to just have the default be the same in both cases. Okay. So, does this even compile? Do you even lift? You saw it in the curl example. Where? Oh, right here. This looks like just an error from applying patch, and it probably works by accident. Like, you know, patch format has a plus when it means add line, right? And so print returns the bytes printed, which is an integer. So this is an expression that's unary plus on a number. Unary plus is kind of a no-op operator anyway. It doesn't do anything, but we keep it for symmetry with minus. So, but yeah, those should not be there. So the answer of what it does is nothing, actually. What is this divided by 1024? Like, what? Okay, I hate that. Whoever did that. Whoever did that is fired. Oh, you know. Actually, we would need a cast otherwise. Let's do that. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Okay, so does it blend? No, it doesn't blend. Why not? Code gen, okay, it's not called code gen optimization level, right? We should call it optimization setting. Wait, okay, this is still old. This is still old. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is a different. See, okay, this is. This is not good. That we even have this variable. kind of don't know why that is there. Okay, so I'm going to put a markup here. This should get deleted. But we're going to delete it here. Boom, code gets smaller, code gets better. How do you know when to abandon a bit of code you can't make work? Do you know what to do that's better? If you don't know what to do that's better, like if you don't know how to rewrite it to be better, then you haven't learned enough about why it doesn't work. All right? You need to struggle with it enough to see what the problem is. Like, and that doesn't mean exactly how to fix the bug or whatever, but it's like, so for me, you know, I've had times when I'm working on the compiler and it's like, you know, every time I try to debug something in the macro system, it's really confusing because all the stuff around for expansions and the inserts and the way loop controls get mapped if they're in macros, it gets really complicated, and I'm always kind of guessing anytime I think about that code. And it's like, okay, well, this piece of the code is too complicated. So it's a goal just to make that whole thing simpler. And then you start thinking about how to do that, and then maybe the bugs will go away, right? Or maybe you come up with a... Now this is not exactly what you asked, but the point is, yeah, you should never retreat with your tail between your legs, right? You should never declare defeat. You should instead advance in a different direction. And if you don't know what direction yet, then yeah, you need to keep fighting on that piece of code until you know what direction. Okay, well, so you say sometimes code seems to have a mind of its own and creates different effects even when you don't change anything. Well, those are bugs actually, right? And here's some advice that I will give you, which is that you become a much more powerful programmer when you understand deeply that code is deterministic and have faith that you can use that to solve problems. That determinism is powerful. Now, this of course only applies to, you know, single core things, right? So multiprocessor things are non-deterministic in a certain way, but then when your synchronization is correct, they're more deterministic. But if you're talking about just single core things, if there are no bugs, it should be completely deterministic, right? Or, you know, like if you read something like a timer, then every time you start the program, it'll be different, but you should be able to have determinism despite that. So for example, we have a deterministic mode in the compiler that I use all the time to debug things, because it's a lot easier to debug a program when everything happens in the same order every time than if things are happening in random order every time you run it. So that would be my advice, is figure out why. Figure out why it's behaving differently even when you don't change anything. And there might be more than one reason. Like sometimes when things are hard to understand, it's because there are multiple bugs happening at the same time. And and they together create an effect that is hard to visualize and trace to one place. And in those cases, you just have to work hard to isolate one of the problems. And then you fix that, and then the other ones become simpler and more manageable. Okay. So this is going to get exposed to the user as well. This is going to be don't you love dude, Emacs is so weird. There we go. Okay. Okay, so what? I think I deleted the declaration. What type was that? What type was that? No? What? Oh, no, there it is right there. I was not seeing it. I was not seeing it. It's really not good to have the same name used twice, but we're going to delete the other one, so it's fine. Yeah, see, this is unintuitive, the way that this is being used. Like, anyway, we're gonna deal with this because this is all gonna change. I might be a little tired. I'm getting sleepy, so we might just do this one thing. We're basically revamping and modernizing and making better the optimization settings that people use when they say how to build stuff. Oh boy. Okay. Right, so this thing is going to get rewritten. Because this, like, again, you know, people have asked about this before, which is part of the impetus for cleaning it up. It's like you pass this GCC opt level and size level into here, and then we kind of translate it into like multiple variables, and I don't know, it's just kind of trash, honestly. So we're going to replace that with a different system. Did I see the Tomorrow Corporation Tech Demo? Yeah, I was not. It's snake oil, guys. I was not impressed at all. It's like people just haven't seen that kind of snake oil demo used to happen all the time. And so we used to know what that was. And now people haven't seen it in so long that they think it's real. $1,260 lines to draw a triangle. I get you. It's ridiculous, man. Have I heard of Beyond Compare? Yeah, but I don't. Again, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I probably used Beyond Compare in like 2002. Okay, why are these all banana cakes? Yeah, I mean, if you like it, that's great. I'm grumpy about tools because I just am. I don't like them. So, like, I'm not going to download an extra thing and have it floating around in addition to Tortoise SVN unless there's a very, very strong reason to do that. I will not use more programs than I have to, basically. Because they're all crap. And dealing with them takes a lot of energy. So it is what it is. Okay, so in this thing, all right, so this is going to be the legacy situation. All right, we're going to say Okay. It's called optimization setting. And again, I don't care that much about this because this is going to be a deprecated procedure taking these arguments. But we are going to maintain it for a little while so that people can not have to rewrite everything all of a sudden, right? Opt level. So we're going to say 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And then we're going to do some other stuff. What is OZ even? S. There is no Z here. What is dash OZ supposed to be? These are such trash. When did Google become such trash at searching for things? Optimize more aggressively for size than OS. I see. So it's like Z as in like zlib. It's pretending to be zlib. Okay. Okay, so then this stuff goes away. I'm just going to make sure everybody runs. Because we did change the size of the data structures, both internally to the compiler and outside. And that could be very catastrophic if we got that wrong. Doesn't seem like we did. Okay. So now here, I am too tired to do this right now, but here we're going to have a new enum. Right, I'm just going to do this. But, oh, it's not going to be here because these are kind of meaningless. But what it will be is set opt. We're going to have a set optimization level. Or use set code generation options instead. I don't know. We might change the name of that. But the point is going to be this. It's going to be like set optimization level, but it's going to take just a single enum and what is it going to be called? Level. Like we don't want to say it's about optimization level. This is more about like a build type, right? Right, and this is a convenience function you can use to tweak a bunch of the various compilation settings based on build type. And tweak them further after this function returns. You don't have to use this function at all. You could just set the individual options yourself if you want. Okay, so if type is equal to, right? So we're going to say build type is an enum. We're going to have debug. That's going to be the default very debug, right? Release and no, not release. We don't want to say release. Optimize. We're very optimized, right? Something like that. Have I tried ChatGPT for these scenarios? ChatGPT is not good for factual information. It's better now that GPT-4 is usable from there, but I mean, it's just making stuff up, dude. Like, it's just not okay. A sub-optimized setting that's worse than debug. Maybe we won't add that. Okay, I'm going to think about these a little more, which is why although it would be nice to check in. All right, so all that stuff worked. This invaders is failing because there's something wrong with, there's some fucking program installed on this laptop that fucks with executables after you write them. And it's not Windows antivirus, and I don't know what it is, but like it keeps the executable open for a while after you write it, and then we try to write it with a subsequent, because we compile invaders multiple times and it can't fucking do it. It makes me so angry that Microsoft is fucking up their OS this bad. Or maybe Razer is, I don't know. Other weird stuff was happening. It stopped happening after like the first week, but like I would compile programs and then magically the executable would be set to read only for some reason. And now I can't recompile that program. GG. It's like, There's no adults in the room anymore, you know. Like, why is there something that thinks it's okay just to make executables read-only for some reason? But it happened to me multiple times. Is it that code execution protection thing? I don't know. I have no idea what it is. It just happened. Okay. I'm going to put this on the to-do list. Because we're not going to do that tonight. We're going to document what we did. Removed LLVM options.codegen size setting and codegen speed set, right? Was it called? It was called opt level, right? We're going to use this again. We're going to use this again. Diff. CodeGen optimization level. To modern LLVM settings. Yeah, and then we'll document the other part. Yeah, it's fine. Why? How is Babby formed? All right. So yeah, so the next move, I actually don't want to check this in yet because I marked this as, well, we could do this. All right. Change around, change the way LLVM options represents optimization settings. Cool. All right, well, this is maybe just a short stream, you know, that's what happens when I start it up at 10:30 p.m. after a hard day of dancing all over the place. Is there a build script involved here? No, we don't use build scripts. there's no reason to use a build script. It's an erroneous idea. It is a 1970s idea of how to program. No check-in, implement me. Okay, so when I wake up in the morning, I'll have slept on it a bit. I'll have more specific ideas about what else should be in this enum, and then we just populate this, and then we could start doing it a little bit. So like, right, so all these will just be set to off or on based on those settings. For example, this is weird that we have see, these options are on, wait, are we using LLVM options? No. So why? Oh no, we are right here. Okay. Duh. Okay. I was going to say, why are these on build options, but they're not? Okay, so we're also commenting it a little bit more because it's definitely a thing where people would look at the old function and say like, what? Why are build scripts bad? Because why should you need a totally different programming language than the one you're programming in just to program? Like you're saying the minimum number of programming languages is 2. Why? Why isn't the minimum number of programming languages 1? Why is it 2 or more? Very often it's more, right? Build scripts are necessary even when compiler developers put everything into 10,000 command line options. Well, you know, yes. Yes, if your command line options are Turing complete, what are you going to do? Yeah, I mean, if you use CMake, then it's 3, right? Because CMake makes makefiles. So you have CMake, makefile, and then your actual programming language. Do I do weekend hobby programming projects? No, I mean, I would say very, very rarely, and I haven't done one in a really long time. Just because I'm so busy, if I'm programming, it has to be on one of these things that isn't done yet. That said, we're going to start shipping some things soon, and then I would have fun doing little hobby projects. Like, I would like to do a better sample game for this programming language that's actually a fun game to play. Like the little Galaga style thing that I did way back is, you know, it's fine. It's cute. It's a cute example, but it's not like a fun game that people want to play, you know? So like making an actual fun game that people want to play and then distributing that would be fun. Are bat files that just call the compiler file name considered build scripts? Yes. Yes. Although, it's a lot better to have that than like a whole make file for sure. The simpler the better. It's sort of an intermediate representation, implementation detail. Yeah, I mean, that's all fine in theory, and then one day you have to actually go look at the make files, and it's a disaster, right? Like it always happens eventually. Have I ever programmed in machine language? Yes. Not very often. I'm just going to paste the rest of this up there. Man, I might get some of these wrong accidentally. You know what? We're going to be done with this, actually. See, I do this all the time. I say that I'm tired, and then I just do a little more, and then before you know it, it's there, right? I mean, like I said, we might change these. So right now, there's no difference whatsoever between debug and very debug. What about size optimized? We don't care about that. Size optimized is kind of stupid in the way, let me rephrase that. Some people really want it. Like if you're making stuff for an embedded system where you want to get the ROM down as small as possible or whatever. But what you really want in those cases is for most of the program to be small, but maybe there's some speed critical things like particular functions that you want more of an optimization setting on. And so, you know, what we're going to do is give you more fine-grained control over that, over whether things should be small or not. And so the question is, what does that look like? Does it look like setting things to small here globally and then overriding that locally in different places? Hard to say. But yeah, you can also like, you can call this and then explicitly tweak other things, right? So if you want to disable inlining, you can do that, etc. Anyhow, so I'm going to think about this some more. Like I said, these particular enums are not set in stone. They're just to get started and thinking about the situation. I am now going to go to Sleep Town. However, I hope that you have a good time watching all the other software and game development channels on twitch.tv, because I know there are so many, so much to choose from. All right, thanks everyone. See you later.